my first time in Sturgeon, I asked somebody, I said, "Does everybody have golf carts?" He said, "Oh yeah."
Actually, it's like a thing up here. Setting up another camera?
I'll let her handle it. I'll just get her card. Yeah, I didn't know
I'm
you
good.
were already over here, Dave. Yeah, so I'll just go off your camera and get your card.
Whatever's easier, I can hold it
Oh,
too.
I got it if you want.
Okay.
You want me to hold yours?
Yeah,
you
I'll
gotta
take
do
it.
that. Alright. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, so unfortunately we did not end up getting the result we wanted. We wanted a peaceful resolution, and as we spoke earlier, prior to us speaking earlier, there had been some shots fired there, and unfortunately there was several more shots fired at various times throughout the evening. We did have several law enforcement officers return fire at various points. So we've asked the Missouri State Highway Patrol, DDCC, to come up and assist in an investigation. This was a multi-jurisdiction response, so there's multiple agencies involved, and so I can't really speak as to which officers were involved necessarily at this point. DDCC is sorting that out right now. Unfortunately, about 5 minutes or so before 7, shortly before 7 o'clock, sorry, it is 7:15 right now. Excuse me. Shortly before 7 o'clock, we did make entry. Law enforcement made entry into the residence and located the suspect deceased. So we have sent out an alert to the public, released the perimeter. There's no danger to this immediate area or to any of the citizens of Sturgeon right now. But it is unfortunately not the outcome we desired, and as I said, the Missouri State Highway Patrol will be investigating.
Was that self-inflicted, or was that due to gunfire?
Again, it would be premature for me to even speak on that necessarily. Again, they're going to investigate, and I'm just going to leave that to them to really look at and determine at this point.
Were any officers hit?
We have no officers that were struck by gunfire. We do have multiple armored vehicles that were shot up during this incident, and luckily that's why we get those, to protect the personnel, and they can be repaired and replaced. But yeah, again, not the outcome we wanted.
I know you said the one had gotten damaged. Did you guys have to bring in another one, or how many of those armored vehicles were?
Yes, we had at least 2 armored vehicles that were damaged. The Columbia Police Department brought up an armored vehicle. It was shot up at the beginning, and the Callaway County Sheriff's Office was gracious enough to bring over their armored vehicle for us, and unfortunately it got shot up as well.
It seemed like he had a lot of ammunition. It seemed like there were a lot of shots fired. I mean, I don't know if you can speak to that as far as how many different things happened there.
Again, we were all in the vicinity and could hear it repeatedly. I would agree with you, it was a large number of shots. It would just be a wild guess if I was to guess at this point, and that's what the investigation is going to have to go through and look and see what camera views were in play, and actually be able to come to a conclusion as to exactly how that played out, what times those shots were fired, and how many.
The woman that had called in the domestic assault call, do you have any update on her status at the moment, or?
She is stable. That's about all I can say at this point. Of course, we won't release a victim's name or anything like that, but we were able to get her the assistance she needed, and she was doing okay last time I checked.
You mentioned a bunch of other counties they brought in, obviously the other armored vehicle, and just you had, I think, 3 or 4 different police departments here at the same time. What does that say to the cooperation with the Missouri State Police, and how encouraged were you to see that in an incident like this?
It's very refreshing to know that we have the support and the backup that we need whenever this happens. And it's not just having that relationship, it's having a well-trained relationship. Our guys and gals work together, they train together, and to be able to call on each other in a time of need is really important, and we really value those working relationships.
Do you know if any of the surrounding houses received any damages from the exchange of gunfire? Or?
Again, I can't speak to that. I know that's kind of a repeating theme right now, but I just really can't until they get down there and really investigate and look. We don't have any reports of anyone else being injured, so that's a blessing. I think most people recognize the alerts that we put out, and trying to just get the public to stay and remain at a safe distance. you know, the local church behind us that opened up and allowed some of those displaced people to come in and have a place to stay, and even talked